Crystal, VP of Global Sales with PayQuicker. We do commission payouts in the direct selling space.
Awesome. I'm Carlos Flores, CEO of S4DS, and today we're talking about payments, which is an outstanding subject. When you are involved in direct selling, you have two ways of income. The first of all is your margin, the wholesale versus retail price and how you get that. And secondly, when you have bonuses and everything that the company wants to pay you, that's another conversation. So can you explain us briefly what is the normal value proposition for the US market? And then we can switch what is the trend in terms of we go to the Hispanic market and so on.
Absolutely. So we really find that companies in the US, especially in terms of when they're paying out those bonuses, monthly incentives, I think the tradition used to be paying them monthly, once a month. But we find that paying out more frequently really incentivizes those sales.
How does work? When you use it frequently, is in weeks or is days? How is it working?
So we actually have a lot of clients who are paying weekly. I would say the standard in the US is weekly pay on retail bonuses or retail commissions. And then still with a monthly bonus depending on your where you are in the compensation plan.
Great.
But we have clients that are paying as quick as daily and even hourly.
Oh my God, that's interesting challenge. What is the trend when you go to the Hispanic market? Is any difference?
There's definitely a difference. I think we also found this in Europe as well, that most regions were also still on more of a monthly cycle. But being able to provide even just moving to twice a month and even weekly, which is more the average, you're getting access to that income more frequently, so you can use it to either invest in your business or on bills.
What is the most important trend in terms of your experience? How to cash out the money? Because I have the money on my commission, but I don't know. I want to use it. I want to spend it. How that works?
Yeah, and that can vary by region as well. In the U.S. And really abroad, we find the easiest and fastest way and the way most users spend is directly on their debit card that comes with their commission account. So our solution has a debit card, so they don't have to transfer to a bank to use the funds or spend the funds.
Very convenient.
They can use the card online. They can load it into their Apple Pay, Google Pay. So that's definitely the fastest. They can also use that to get cash at the ATM, and that's worldwide. And so especially in Latin America, we see being able to use the card and not having to transfer it to your local bank account in your country makes it really easy to manage. You can see all the expenses. There's a lot of advantages.
Okay. What about e-wallets? What is the trend in there?
Yeah, it's been very interesting, especially not just Latin America, but there are quite a few in Latin America, but Asia, like WeChat and Alipay. Either there's kind of two ways you can load your debit card into, let's say, Venmo or PayPal to spend, but you could also do transfers to a local mobile wallet. So we use Pix in Brazil, for example. So being able to utilize a local wallet that's in your country can also give you more options.
Okay, very interesting. I think that you touch a point, and there's two different business models that we have been working for so many years. One is the company that is in US that will pay it in US dollars.
Correct.
So if you are in a specific country, you can have your commissions, as you mentioned, very convenient in this wallet or in my debit card, and we will only exchange what I want. That's one trend. But I think another trend, when you're more visible legally in terms of taxes and everything, you need to be on the country.
Correct.
And the company cannot, and I think one of the awareness in the CEO meeting, that you cannot go to play with the exchange rate and taxes and all the inconvenience that is in there. So you need to step aside on points or exchange rate.
Absolutely.
You need to play fair. Means that you will play in local currency. That's when the complexity, and I think the new trend, and it has to be another chapter of this conversation because it's huge, is how to deal with all these non-banking solutions in every single country. You go to
Yep.
Mexico, you need to include maybe OXXO or any of those channels. If you go to Colombia, you will need to go to Efecti.
Yep.
And you go to Brazil, is the same. If you go to Argentina, has several different offline methods also to get paid.
Yeah.
So it is important to tackle those,
Yes.
and it's part of the important conversation.
What's really interesting is we kind of have two aspects that kind of speak to that. One, we have a PayQuicker wallet where you can load, the company can load their local currency and pay into a local currency PayQuicker wallet.
There you go.
And then from there, they can transfer to other reps within the country. They can transfer to their bank account in the country. So there's a few options there. Also, if you have your commission list of everyone who's going to be getting paid, you could take that list and use PayQuicker, for example, to collect the bank account information, safely within our portal.
Very good point.
And then still process your file to local bank, local operator.
Absolutely great. No, Crystal, thank you so much for joining this.
Yeah,
everything that you do so great in your company, and I think that's provide all the audience with some guidelines. I mean, you can do whatever you're doing manually to split your payments for every single distributor, but you have thousands of those with different bank accounts, with different payment methods. Normally it's a mess. We have more than 30 integrations to support our customers in Latin America. So we know the complexity that is in there.
Yes, absolutely.
So definitely, I think we strongly invite to understand what Crystal represents. If there is another path to tackle this process, is to centralize, and you will be in charge of this distribution, and the company has a faster method to support. So I think it's so great. Yeah. Thank you so much, Crystal, for joining us today.
I appreciate it.